like late summer day back here in the pit at the Funhouse. Unseasonably warm, nice and bright, just like almost everybody's fantasy prospects. But here with me, we have a slightly smaller audience than last time. To my right, it's Clayton. Clayton, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good. It's not your fuckboy. It's the gay dicker from the Greenway, Southside Christmas City. Nick, I'm playing you this week. I'm not going to show no pity.
Well, if you're not the fuckboy, then who is?
What's up, shitheads? It's me, your boy, the #1 fuckboy from Northampton County, $1,000 town, the best boy grip. Other brother from Sally Struthers, the humblest of braggers, say Brian thing, Mr. Positive. Brian House.
The best boy grip, finally. Clayton, you mentioned we are absent again. One Nick Baranowski, who in just the comedy of errors of how he continues to not get on this podcast. We had a couple of interesting, noteworthy results from the week. I'd like to start by talking about Clayton and how you had this delightful thing to say to Delajuan last week.
Delajuan, happy early fucking Christmas, asshole.
And boy, did you give him a Yuletide greeting. With what was that? What did you triple him or something? No, it wasn't actually that. He actually performed pretty well, but you had the highest score of the week.
Yes.
With 143. With your bench guys.
Without C.D. Lamb and Garrett Wilson.
Mr. Howells, how'd yours go?
I scored the least amount of points this week, and also throughout the year. 56 points is the lowest amount of points anyone has ever scored this year.
Wow.
It's less than the Dolphins against the Broncos.
So what do we attribute that abysmal score?
Injuries, bye weeks, and just straight up suckiness.
I would like to briefly walk everyone through a recap of my game, my fantasy game against Don Leone Lorenzo. It begins on Thursday night with the Saints and Jaguars, and Christian Kirk on Lorenzo's team overperforms and dumps my already poor-looking percentage down to something like 35% chance to win. Then Sunday begins, and despite the fact that the Bills lost the game, both Diggs and Cook managed to find the end zone. So I get, I'm crawling back up closer towards across the 40, and then in a double nut punch, Lorenzo, who picked up Kareem Hunt after I had dropped him, scores the winning touchdown for the Browns over their wild win against the Colts, and I'm back down to like 31. Then the Steelers game begins, and Clay, you also reap benefits with Harris there, and I got a pretty good game out of Pickens, so I'm starting to inch back closer to midfield. The Eagles game comes. The Dolphins get largely stifled, although right before the half, Lorenzo's quarterback, Tua, throws a touchdown to Lorenzo's wide receiver, Tyreek Hill, and I'm fucked again. But there I am, finally. They were largely shut down the rest of the game, and on Monday night, I'm down about 10 points with nothing but TJ Hawkinson, and despite injury, he brings that left hand back around from behind his back and gives me a 20-point knockout punch to deliver the first loss to Lorenzo for the year. It was thrilling. Clayton, I believe that you have something prepared for us this week.
Yeah, a little bit of a wild fantasy facts mixed in with a little bit of trivia for you guys while we're here. I don't know if you guys know how fantasy football started, but just a real brief synopsis of it. Fantasy gridiron football was created by Bill Wickenbach. He was a former park owner of the Oakland Raiders in 1962. The businessman and sports enthusiast created the first fantasy football league with a group of friends in a New York City hotel. This is long. They called themselves the Greater Oakland Professional Pigskin Procrastinators League, otherwise known as GOPPPL.
I'm changing my name.
Now, I have the highest games that have been played fantasy point-wise at every position. I'll give you guys a crack at it.
Okay.
What was the most fantasy points scored by a running back in a single game? I'll give you the year. The year was 2003. Any guesses?
Well, now we briefly talked about this on Sunday, so I know at this point, but I'll
2003.
2003.
2003. Jesus, I don't even know.
Denver Bronco.
Freaking what's his name? I'm blanking.
A lot of people go to Terrell Davis.
Yeah, that was my first guess.
And it was not him. It was actually Clayton Portis, who holds the record with 55 fantasy points.
Yeah.
Can you guys guess the most fantasy points scored by a wide receiver in a single game? The year was 1990. If I give you the team, it'll give it away.
I guess it was probably Jerry Rice.
Bing, bing, bing.
Yeah.
Bingo. Jerry Rice actually had 65 fantasy points in a single game
Oh my God.
in 1990. Can you guys imagine being if this Funhouse League was in the 90s and you had Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, Jerry Rice, all to choose from?
Yeah.
Wow.
He must have had 5 fucking touchdowns. Four probably.
I'm taking Warren Moon first round.
Well, he had the longest yardage. Oh, Derek, hey, what's happening, man?
How you guys doing?
Yeah, the friendly neighborhood bartenders here. Hot off a win, I believe.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah, who'd you teach a lesson to this week?
Well, it's me and Don Leone.
Oh!
2 first place teams.
He's going to be angry after what happened to him last week. You got to watch out.
He's projected by got a 2% chance.
Be a dogfight.
Yeah, well, he's tough competition.
Yep.
All right, so we'll see how it goes.
All right, excellent.
Good luck. Thank you, Derek.
So now we're moving on to most fantasy points scored by a tight end in a single game. The year was 1981, and I'll give you the team. The team is the San Diego Chargers, 1981.
No, wait a minute.
I wasn't even born yet.
Well, Gonzo never played for that team. Gates wasn't there yet. I couldn't probably name. I'll probably be surprised to hear this name.
You both should, because I was a little surprised. He goes by the name of Kellen Winslow.
Oh, senior.
Yes.
Kellen Winslow, senior.
He had, as a tight end, 57 fantasy points. I believe he had 4 touchdowns in that game and a punt return or something crazy. But yeah, he went nuts.
Wow.
How
Junior, I remember, he was on the Seahawks, right? Wasn't he? I think he was also a tight end for the Seahawks in the 2000 on that Super Bowl team in 2006, I think. But anyway,
possibly, yeah. Moving on, what most fantasy points scored by a quarterback in a single game? The year is 1961. This man played for the Bears.
the forward pass hadn't been invented yet.
This man played for the Bears, the Raiders, and the Oilers. By the way, the Titans are wearing the Oilers uniforms.
Oh, they're doing the throwback
this week. If you're interested in that.
Oh, exciting.
What bar are they?
Whatchamacallit? No, I have no idea. Okay, 61, the Oilers.
Oilers, Bears, and Raiders.
Fucking hell. Well, yeah, I can only name one Oilers quarterback. And yeah,
It's not it.
he was busy coming back from somewhere else at the time. So
Well, his name was George Blanda.
okay, I mean, I remember the name from various NFL films specials and stuff, but would never in a million years have named George Blanda. You don't happen to have his stat line, do you?
No, I just have the amount of.
I want to see if it was 65 rushes for 100 yards and 9 touchdowns or something.
It's
probably
interesting you mentioned that. I'm going to tail back into that as
okay.
we go on.
All right.
What were the most fantasy points scored by a kicker in a single game? The year was 1968.
I was also surprised. I thought it was going to be 2022. Well, so we're going to name the kicker?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
68. Can't name any kickers. Well, wait. That might have been Morton Anderson. Might have actually been a rookie that year or something. I don't know. Gary Anderson? Was it an Anderson?
It's the same as the quarterback, George Blanda. He got 39 fantasy points as a kicker in 1968.
That's crazy.
Yes.
He's a fantasy god.
Yes, George Blanda. I never really knew much about him until I did this. So now you guys know George Blanda's a big name.
That'd be a fun t-shirt. George Blanda, fantasy god.
He doesn't sound Blanda.
What is the most fantasy points scored by a defense in a single game?
Okay.
The year was 1989.
Bears.
Oh. It was a little bit after, but they still had a lot of the same personnel. That's not a bad guess. I'll guess Niners again.
This was the 1989 Bud Carson Cleveland Browns taking on a rookie Pittsburgh Steelers team. Sorry, Dano, but listen, I had to pull the
their
stats.
Shit era.
So they won 51-0 and scored 50 fantasy points on the nose. But here are the stats. This is what the Cleveland defense did: 5 fumble recoveries, 3 interceptions, 6 sacks, and 3 defensive touchdowns.
Now, wait a minute. How many points did you say they scored? Fantasy points?
50.
The Cowboys scored 55 this year. They didn't.
We'll have to research that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I know I got 55 burgers.
55 fries, 55 tacos, 55 fries, 55.
I'm just going to quick look up my week 1 stat here.
I'm going to look in the
Because it
next.
was... Oh, no. I'm making that up. It was 38 points. I'm fucking wrong as hell.
No, that's okay.
I don't know why. Maybe it was just because I really wanted to say 55.
55 cakes, 55 pancakes, 55 pasta.
Throw that Arrested Development drop in there.
So a little bit more trivia for you, and I got 2 more stats to wrap it up with. The best fantasy football seasons ever. We have four running backs and 1 quarterback on this list. Number 1 happened in 2006.
Oh, yeah. That would be LaDainian Tomlinson.
Bingo. LaDainian Tomlinson had the best fantasy season ever with 481 fantasy points.
Yeah, that dude was throwing, running, receiving like twice a game every game.
Yeah.
At least. On average. He had some like 5 touchdown games in there.
Yeah.
Like multiple ones. It was crazy.
Do you guys want to guess number 2? Running back from 2019.
Kamara.
No.
2019. I don't know.
Henry?
No. Coming in at number 2 with 471 fantasy points, that would be Christian McCaffrey from the Carolina Panthers.
Right under our noses. Yeah.
Number 3 was another running back. The year is 2000.
Oh. I don't know. About Clinton Portis again?
Give you guys a hint. Greatest show on turf.
Oh, Marshall Faulk.
Yes,
There we
Marshall
go.
Faulk's in there at number 3 with 460. Number 4, running back, 2002.
Vikings? Fucking
Adrian Peterson?
Adrian Peterson.
No, unfortunately.
All right, let me I'll
This team used to invest money into the running back position, and now they do not.
Deuce McAllister. Deuce Staley.
That could be every team.
That's true. That is true, actually. No, that was from the Kansas City Chiefs, Priest Holmes.
Oh, yeah.
441 fantasy
Oh, right.
points.
Fucking forgot about him. Jesus.
And last, it's gonna be a dead giveaway because it has to be a
Let me guess,
quarterback.
2007.
2019.
Oh.
Oh.
I thought it was going to be like the super year, the 18-1 Tom Brady. That was going to be
Actually,
my guess.
no. This was 15-1 Baltimore Raven 2019
of course.
MVP
Lamar
Lamar
Jackson.
Jackson. Ends that out with 416 fantasy points.
Wow.
He's the only quarterback to make that list.
George Blanda didn't make that list.
He's the kicker and the quarterback. Well, you did mention in a previous podcast how kickers used to punt a lot.
But just everybody,
Or, I mean,
fucking Chuck Bednarik would play both sides of the ball and shit. There was like there was no rules back then. You could do anything. Thanks so much, Clayton. That was really interesting. I have such a newfound respect for George Blanda now.
You know what's funny is I saw someone wearing a Blanda jersey once. I think it was an Oakland Raider one. It might have been one of Mark's friends, actually.
Oh,
I'm like,
it might have been
that?
Mark. He's got a lot of weird old.
It
Raider
might be
jerseys.
Mark, actually.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Question for Mr. Howells. How did Miss Terry enjoy the games last week?
She was a little upset that the Dolphins lost, and I was sporting my Eagles hat. She was sporting her Dolphins jersey.
Yeah.
There was a little fighting in the household, but the Eagles came on top, so that's all that matters.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad. It was really nice to see her. In spite of the outcome, I'm glad she had a good time. I certainly did, from what I can remember. Anything else anybody would like to?
Well, I just want to say something to Buka. I know Buka tends to maul my team, and he gloats about it. And I just want to say, you beat me a lot last year, but I'll just say, just because the cat had kittens in the oven, don't make them biscuits.
Did you steal that line from like Gorgeous George or something? Like that sounds like a 1977 NWA Mid-South heel promo.
That's right. I'm coming hard at him.
Well, I can't imagine possibly ending on a better note than that. So, would we please all have good luck in the games this week. Have a good week in general, and we will see you next time.
Bye, shitheads.